Mix 1041, mixtv.tv. We are joined by our friends Jay and Brittany Hagee, Allon Planning Partners. Great to see both of you.
Hello.
As always.
Great to see you, Bridget. Thanks for having us.
Of course. So today we are going to talk about how planning brings peace of mind. It's so important to have a plan, isn't it?
Man, that's our mantra.
Yeah.
You've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan. And the reason we really want to talk about this today is because we've just kind of been recounting recently the stories of the folks that we've sat down with and thinking through their feedback, thinking through the actual planning strategy with them. And over and over, we have folks come and say, man, I just have such peace of mind because I've done what I've done with you all. We have planned, we've strategized, we've dug in, and I'm experiencing this clarity. I have clarity over my financial situation like I haven't had before. And the impact of that is living with a much deeper peace and just knowing, hey, I've done all I can do here. And I have properly planned and prepared.
And we always fear what we don't know. Uncertainty is always going to bring unrest, right? There's always going to be a fear of what we don't know. But if we plan ahead and we do it wisely, we can actually replace that confusion with clarity in the middle of that. Because a lot of times the uncertainty wants to bring confusion. Is like, oh man, should I go left? Should I go right? Should I stay exactly where I'm at?
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and sometimes it does freeze us, and we do need to move. And sometimes we move and we need to stand still, right? And so if we don't have a plan put in place, if we don't have an investment strategy, an income strategy, a tax plan, whenever the tax bills are getting changed every year, right? If we don't have a healthcare plan, if there's a healthcare emergency there, if we don't have an estate plan in place, if something were to happen to us and we're disabled or we are no longer here and our family has to deal with the pieces, right? It can bring a lot of uncertainty and unclarity, but I will tell you today, if you have a plan in place, you can replace that confusion in those times, because those are usually really emotional times whenever there's a lot of confusion going on. You can replace it with clarity and peace. Because you have done what is necessary to plan ahead.
And look at kind of this whole planning approach. It kind of what it does is it just creates some guardrails. So it's not this really rigid where, think about as a car driving, you're not in the single lane and you can only go in the single lane. The way that we strategize and we plan when we're looking at the big financial picture, think of it as like a 6-lane freeway or something, like driving through Atlanta. You've got all these lanes, you need to stay in these 6 lanes to, here's your guardrails, here's your safety, but you can move in and out between these different lanes. So it's not super rigid to where you can't flex with unexpecteds and things like that. It has that flexibility built in, but there are guardrails to say, hey, here's how you make sure that you stay on the track to actually get to your destination. And that is what planning does. So I know that may kind of, if you're listening today, that may bring up the question, well, what does that actually mean? What is planning? What does that actually look like? And Jay just tapped on some of those key components. But if you are missing any one of these 5 components, your plan's not complete. And that's your investment strategy and portfolio, how you're actually invested, income planning, looking at how to replace your income after you're working, and how you're using that during your working years, tax planning, not just paying taxes for the current year, but looking at how taxes are going to be impacted in subsequent years and later years of your life, healthcare, and estate planning. If any one of those 5 areas are not addressed, then your financial plan is incomplete. Estate planning, you better believe that impacts your financial situation. Healthcare, we all know that can impact our financial situation. So they really are linked together. So if you're missing any one of those, then you really don't have a complete plan.
And let me say one more thing. After decades of working with people in finances, I will tell you this, just having more money isn't what brings peace. We work with plenty of people, and I know some people are listening like, oh, I'll take the chance, right? And I know we work with a lot of people that have millions of dollars that have a lot of stress, anxiety, and lack of peace because they don't have a plan. What we've found is, and I've found even people with fractions of the millions that I've seen have a lot of peace because they know how they're going to handle situations. They know in this uncertainty, I'm going to move this direction. If this happens, okay, I've got 2 contingency plans here, right? That really is what brings the peace and the roots, right? The stability, the foundation. So I want to dispel the myth of like, well, if I just had more money, I wouldn't have to worry about all this stuff. That's not true.
Good. Right.
No matter where you're at, if you're the person right now listening with $5 million and feeling anxious, we need to help you get a plan. If you're a person with $5,000 fears and feeling anxious. We need to help you get a plan because it's about bringing peace around the uncertainty of your finances. And that's what we do. That's what we help with every day. And so I would urge everyone listening, if they have anxiety, lack of clarity, or fear around anything
confusion.
with finances, please reach out to us. We would love to give you a complimentary consultation to try to break away some of the confusion that you may be feeling around your plan. We want to make sure that you're covered fully and that you can sleep at night in peace because you have clarity in your financial plan.
Well, and here at Allon Planning Partners, our goal is actually to get something to you, not get something from you. We're trying to resource you. We're trying to set you on a better trajectory forward to be able to experience what you couldn't otherwise experience. And part of that does look like this peace of mind that we all want, but maybe don't really know how to navigate or actually get to. So we're working to get something to you, and that's why we offer these complimentary consultations to resource you, to give you some solutions, to give you some answers, to give you some options in how to best prepare moving forward.
You all have such great resources available. One of those places is your website, so mention that if you will.
Yeah, our website, allonplanning.com. That's ALLON, planning.com. Also, our YouTube channel, there's a link directly from our website to there, but our YouTube channel has all kinds of resources. We've got from, our long-form TV shows to some shorts, just snippets of information about Social Security or taxes or income planning, whatever your topic of interest might be. And then we also have a lot of resources like we have a tax calculator to help you plan for taxes. We have a retirement readiness quiz, an estate planning quiz to help you determine, man, what should I be thinking about? How prepared am I in these specific areas? We have links to all of that there on our website. That's a great place to begin. And finally, you can also schedule that complimentary consultation directly from our website. You don't even have to pick up the phone to call if you don't want to. Go straight to the website. You can schedule straight on our calendar from there.
That's Jay and Brittany Hagee, Allon Planning Partners. Again, that website, allonplanning.com. So great to see both of you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate it.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Foundations only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. No legal or tax advice is provided. Always consult with a tax professional. All rights reserved.